Hey, what's up,
What?
YouTube?
What's up, YouTube?
Hey, Bilal, Paige. Uh, we getting older. We getting older. Look, see,
Old.
we're getting old. Today's topic.
Mm-hmm.
What is today's topic?
Millennial children. Millennial children.
Yes, millennial children. Uh, I think millennial children are kind of they're getting ready uh, to just want to find themselves in the house. You know, they want to remain in the house, and they want to dictate all the things that we ourselves didn't have that kind of those options in life. You see, we had the option of like leaving the home, and these children have seems like they want to have both. They want to elect to leave or elect to stay. You know, when they feel like it, of course. What do you think?
Well, I think there's a few issues with these millennial children. You know, first of all, like the schools, they're really not preparing these children for the real world. I remember when I was growing up, there was lifestyle classes, just life lessons given even by the teachers, because the teachers actually cared. Whereas these new teachers, they're millennials themselves, and they're just as some of them act just as clueless as the kids, and they're afraid of the kids now, and they don't learn how to have classroom management, so they I guess they tend to let the kids tell them what to do. Oh, I'm not doing that, and then they just accept it and sit back and
they just roll with it.
like everything, and then the child has this sense of they don't respect authority. See, they don't respect authority because the government tells them they can go and dial a certain number and complain about the adults around them, and then the adults will be punished based on their complaints, which is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it is that you're relying on a child to provide to provide a lifestyle for the adult that they couldn't possibly provide. I think we're relying on these kids to kind of make I you know what I think it was? Dr. Spock. Dr. Spock fucked it all up for everybody. He mentioned a long time ago that a child that has like negative experiences throughout their life, or excuse me, what as far as spankings, that's a negative experience. So if that becomes it gets translated into bad feelings, which then get translated into negative behaviors, which then gets translated into a poor lifestyle and bullshit. But
Of course.
but that's what Dr. Spock thought, And then, of course, there was his son. I think his son killed himself or something, and something. I just remember that being. It just seemed like whatever it was that he was talking about was full of shit because it didn't even save his own kit and kin. It didn't save his own child, and you can't bargain with children. You have to set them where they need to go.
Yeah, there's a set. You have to have a set of rules, and they have to obey the rules. That's it. I mean, you can talk to them and things like that, but in the end, they have to obey your rules. Plain and simple. You don't obey their rules. They don't make the rules. You make the rules as the parents, as the adult. You take charge of the situation. And you set your foot down and say, hey, I'm the adult, you're the child. No matter whose child it is.
That's true. I mean, think about our own children. I mean, let's go to them. I mean, I think this is going to be very good for you all out there as the family of the internet to understand that we have actual children. I think you've met them before, but if you haven't, these children have grown. They were young and then they became old, and we have one that's graduating, that has graduated, excuse me, from high school, and one to graduate in 2 years. I would hope. Um, we can't wait for them to go. I mean, I have such a strong desire to just boot them out right now, but but in due time they will leave. Yep, in due time. And I mean, what are you feeling about that whole thing? I mean, it's like, I mean, you see all this, like all this gray, and you're gonna get white hairs too.
Eventually.
My wife, she turned 30. See, again, she turned 30 again. See, I turned 50.
40 is 40.
40's 40.
I'm
40. 40. And I'm what?
45.
That's what 45 look like. Yep. Handsome.
Still look good. So, I mean, and so since these kids feel like they don't have to obey any kind of authority, they have this entitlement. And, there's a sense of entitlement. It starts when kids are offered trophies just for participating. A participation trophy.
Participation.
Oh yeah, that's the word now. That's a new word.
That's a nice word. Participation.
That's a new word.
And when you hear that word, yell real loud. Ah! Remember that shit? If you don't remember that, Pee-wee's Playhouse, check it out.
Oh, okay.
My wife forgot it too. Oh my God.
I wasn't paying attention.
Anyway, yep. There she goes. Millennials. See, she's got a touch of millennial in her. But I think, like I mentioned with our children, we have 4 and 2 will soon leave. And
one will. I
know first. One, but it's not fast enough. See, I want them like now to leave. I want to hear them on the other line of a phone call. I want to hear a phone call and say, "You go okay? Yeah, okay." See, that's what I feel. Like I said, millennial children. That's how I feel about millennial children now. Is that it's hard to want to have them around. See, because as we get older, we're just like thinking, what are we doing? What are we doing with ourselves? I mean, it's like we have children so that you raise them right so that they can become self-sufficient. But now you have children, you raise them right to become self-sufficient, and they don't want to be.
That's true.
So,
however, back to the sense of entitlement.
Oh, entitlement. Sorry.
The kids. Yeah, the kids. They feel like that because just for being there, they get an A in class. Just for showing up, because the teacher wants everybody to feel good about themselves. They don't punish the kids. Say you're not behaving well in class, but you get to participate in the party anyway. You get the same thing that everybody else gets just because you're there, and therefore this sense of entitlement. For instance, I work in a Boys and Girls Club, and we do special things for certain kids that they participate in the club. They help out in the club. They have no issues helping when we ask, things like that, and they're respectful. They may have their days or whatever, but still, for the most part, they're good. However, the other kids,
the bad ones.
We reward the kids that are acting well and doing what they're supposed to do with a little something, say a lollipop or something. And then the bad kids come up, "Can I have some?" And you know what I say?
What?
No, you don't deserve any.
No.
It's for throwing a fit. You've been throwing fits all day. You've been just harassing other kids. you're just not listening, and I'm supposed to reward that at the end of the day when you leave.
Oh, you shouldn't.
No, bye-bye. You can just leave. Have a nice day. I hope you have a better day tomorrow. Then maybe you'll get something.
I think children learn all that begging from their parents, but I think the bulk of it is because these children, I think, really don't have any self-awareness. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they are.
Correct.
They don't know why they are, and
They're just there.
they're just there, and they have parents that teach them that they're just there.
Exactly.
And when you have, and when you grow up in that kind of environment, you tend to just, you tend to live for the day. And that's one of the biggest problems we have. They don't see a future. You always have these children, they're always confused, but they always find themselves fucking and stuff. You ever notice that? They always want to fuck. No, seriously, they fuck. They have children all the time, but they never postpone that. It's funny. They always postpone other things in their life that requires real work.
But the child has to come.
Yeah, no, it's kind of wild.
That's another paycheck, and that's a raise. A raise in the food stamps, a raise in the TANF, and then another check for SSI because they're going to put the kids on something.
Yeah.
Because they let them run wild at home with no discipline and the kids don't know how to behave in public places. Places and whatnot. They don't know how to behave, and therefore when they go to school, they're not trained to behave.
So so the next level is the authority.
But the school, whatever the school is teaching them, it's not reinforced at home.
Okay.
See, that's the thing. Okay. It's okay for a child, to not learn really how to behave, how to sit down in school. But if you reinforce it at home, then it wouldn't be such a problem.
So,
but they just let them run wild at home again, and therefore, and then the school's like, well, there's something wrong with your child. We think they need to be on this medication, and then they go, you're right. Okay, we'll just put them on the medication. Why not? And so they put the child on the medication. It's like, oh, now you're on that medicine, I can get my SSI check.
I think lack of authority figures in their lives is another problem that always comes up. And what do we do about that?
Well, what we do is we teach our children respect. We teach them to respect us as their parents. We teach them to respect other authority figures, and that's how we solve that problem.
Well, that's it for tonight. I appreciate my wife, just dishing out her essence, her points of view on a constant. She has all these thoughts every day. So we must like, share, and just ring that bell because
Bing, notification.
That notification, everything that we say is going to be of some, like it.
Share it.
Share. And good night.